Hey, Facebook, welcome to Convo with Nikki. I know it's late, but I needed to pick a time where my house was quiet, of course, because I'm doing it at home. And as moms are preparing to get these babies, and dads, I'm sorry, are preparing to get these babies ready, everybody should be in the bed. Maybe your teenagers, your high schoolers are not, but the ones who make the noise when you tell them that you go live should be in the bed. So that's my house. So I appreciate you all for joining. Those who have no idea what Convo with Nikki is, I'll give you a little background. So Convo with Nikki is a place where me, Nikki, have a moment to be transparent. This place was created, or this space was created probably about a little over a year ago. And it kind of started off as a joke. So I know I have some new viewers because I have some of my new sisters are joining in. But this place was created for a moment of transparency, a moment of sharing experiences and life moments, not because I'm oh so perfect, but because there's a God that is oh so wonderful and gracious. And that a lot of times we endure things and go through things. And instead of us kind of sharing those things, we become hidden when those things are the things that help release us from a place. Hey, Sonata. Hey, Coach Ship. And so I want to, that is what this place was created for. I'm still learning. Hey, Mr. January. I'm still learning how this space is created for more purpose. And so again, so those who have no idea, all I ask is that if you join, that you share, that you invite somebody to come and join in. I know it's a school night, so I want you to invite people to join in, people who may be willing or may just need a moment to say, or who may be enduring, or something that I'm going to share can ultimately help. And so initially when I started this process, when I first started Convo with Nikki, those who've been with me for a while, Convo with Nikki initially started as every day. I was so excited. It was a big thing for me to just, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it was a big thing for me to just pour. And I was pouring so much that it became heavy. And so I had to stop. My body kind of reacted to it, and it just was a whole nother place. And so I started doing it 3 times a week. So I'm getting to a place, so y'all stick with me. So, hey, Kim. So it got to a place where it had became draining for me. And so I started doing 3 times a week. After the 3 times a week, I kind of cut back to a week. And usually the thing that you're gifting in the place that's supposed to excel you to a place is the immediate thing that becomes an attack to you. So of course, where there's a greater an adversary lies. And so every time I felt like I was like getting on track with it and getting to a place where I was excited, it then would take me back. And so, hey, Taquita. So it would then take me back to a place where I became, frustrated or so overwhelmed with life that I could not get to where I was with consistency. And so Convo with Nikki I love this. It's a hard thing for me. It does not come easy for me to become transparent, but I understand that sharing your scars helps others heal. So you share your stuff and the things that you endure so that ultimately you can help somebody else. And as easy as it may sound and as rewarding as some people think it is heavy. And I don't take it lightly. As a matter of fact, I don't think I realized how serious I took it until I began to miss it. And so those who have followed me for a long time, know this process. Those who are just joining, I'm excited. Please, all that I ask that you do is invite somebody, share it, ask you to comment, talk, engage with me, because this is not a dialogue. This is a conversation. Convo with Nikki is literally what it is. Have a conversation with me. Ask me questions. My viewers get to pick my topics usually. It's super interactive and engaging, especially when we talk about relationships, right? Or especially when we're talking about where we're trying to grow to and places that we're trying to get to. So yeah, Convo with Nikki, that's what it is. This platform is going to be amazing. And I'm saying it to you not in a cockiness, but in a faith way, that I have an understanding that this is going to grow to a place where I don't even want to explain. I don't even know how to put it in words. And so that's kind of what happened with my post today. So my goal was to write a post about the Sisters Cruise, which is what I just embarked on last week. But I couldn't. Some things are just so great that you just kind of gotta, in order for you to understand it through me, you just gotta see me. And so, and understand that that nothing happens by happenstance. And that's where I am. That's the place I'm in. Because I really don't have a sure enough word of me understanding it, right? So, again, this is Convo with Nikki, so those who don't have an idea of what it is. So, again, my goal, again, I'm setting, and that's what I want you to understand. Like, it's okay to reset goals. I think sometimes we get focused and we write this plan out and it doesn't look like the thing that we want. We kind of get to a place of frustration and decide, you know what? That ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not going to do it at all. Versus us getting ourselves to a place of saying, oh, this is the vision. This plan not working for me. I'm not consistent. How do I rework my plan to get to the vision that I see at the end? And that's where I am right now. And so I know that Convo with Nikki is supposed to be consistent because of its benefits. So I'm going back to being consistent. It's just funny how I just, my initial phone, I had a Note, I have an S8 or something, and the phone is broken. The phone broke, and I had to use my Note 5. And so, of course, when you use a new phone, all of the calendar settings that were on the old phone come back. My old phone is giving me literally 3 days a week that I'm supposed to be doing Convo with Nikki. 3 days a week. It's showing up every time. And I am just realizing that it's a reminder of where I need to be. So, my consistent for me, for this platform to be great, for me to move and do the things and speak into the lives and share my life with the people that I'm supposed to, I have to be consistent. And so, I am going back. It doesn't mean that I failed. It means that I understand where I messed up and where I need to do work. And so, I'm understanding that the work is consistency. Be just as devoted to this as you would be to anything else. Because if you do not give it the same nurturing time and effort and energy that you would your job, then it's not going to manifest the things that you want to see happen in your vision. And so that's my first thing. So Convo with Nikki will be back 3 days a week. I'm not going to restrict myself to days, but I am saying I'm back. So I am back and I am ready. And I hope that this helps for somebody who has a goal and a plan and a thought process of something that they wanted to do and it kind of failed. Not that it fell on the floor. Hey, Ma. Not that it fell on the floor, but that you decided that, oh, it's time for me to repick this up, put it back in motion because this is the place where my gifting lies. Hard place to be. First of all, because our pride won't let us pick it back up because it's like, oh, if people see me coming back, then they'll say, oh, she's back doing the same things. Versus saying, oh, look at her striving for our vision. And we get so concerned with what people say about us that we miss opportunity, we miss efforts of us doing it for us. Nothing that I set out to do is based on your opinion of me. And that's easy to say, to just say it, but it's a whole nother place to be when you mean it. Meaning that I walk in this place and I'm in this space, not because of what you believe about me, but because of what I know about me. It's a difference once you know you. It's a difference once you know your understanding, your purpose, your calling, your gifting. It's a difference in your response to when you mess up and you come back to a place of being. Understand? So if you have a goal, if you've had something that you've wanted to do and you kind of let it fall by the wayside, life happened, stuff happened. Hey, Andez, life happened, stuff happened, and you kind of put that to the side. It's okay to pick it back up. It's okay to start back over. It's okay to redo it. It's okay to re-look at it, reevaluate it, and continue to move forward. I doubt that every business owner had this one initial plan, executed it, and it was all the way wonderful. I'm not saying somebody didn't. I'm saying all of them probably didn't. So what if, what's the person on Apple? Y'all know. But what if they had dropped the ball and decided, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. Half of y'all with these iPhones and MacBooks would be lost if they had stopped at the moment where they became inconsistent. What if their drive had stopped? What if their momentum had stopped? What would be the outcome now? There would not be one. So I'm realizing that I dropped the ball on myself. Life happened. My health happened. My children happened. Love happened or it didn't happen. Steve Jobs, that's why you my baby. Thank you. So all of those things happened, and then I got in a place. And usually the things that help make room for us or in healing and getting us to a place of peace are the things that we kind of run from, because then that means I have to address it. Especially for me. As y'all see that my gifting and my stuff is me speaking, which means that if I'm enduring a thing, then I have to speak it for healing to happen for somebody else, for me to eventually get a healing. Hard thing to be. Hard place. No one wants to be at a place where I have to say out loud that I did not do right. I failed. I messed up. It's broken. I don't know how to fix it. I want it, but I don't know how to get it. I need it, but I don't know where to go to get it. Somebody help me. And then everybody looking at you and don't have a clue. Or they have a clue and they're not willing to share. Thank you, everybody who's joining. This is Convo with Nikki. If you know somebody who may need this, tag them, invite them to come and watch, share. That's all I ask. But again, I'm really just having a moment. So I'm really just talking about consistency in a place when you've dropped the ball on something that your heart beats to do. And is that considered failure? Or is recognizing what's going on a success? So for me, perception is everything. It's how I view it. I don't really care what you think. It's how I view it. And initially I viewed it as failure. So I kind of fell back because I felt like I could not continue because I had become inconsistent in a thing that I know will make room for me. Because it's a hard place to be. And so I am here to say that I am going to be consistent in my convos with Nikki. Because I understand that there's a greater calling for this than me just doing this because of entertainment. Because of you, when it's bigger than just you, meaning you who are watching, meaning you who share, meaning you who invite. But I'm hoping that it helps somebody who has a goal or a dream or a passion, or who's decided that I'm going to drop, or I've dropped the ball and I failed epically right now. My suggestion or my hope for you is that you pick it up and you continue to run with it. Because ultimately, if you don't, one person wasn't created to do one thing. It's about 10 of us that can do the same thing, and 10 of us can do it well. 10 of us weren't called to the same people, but we can do the same thing well. And understand that when you don't pick it up, it's going to be picked up and somebody's going to run with it in their own lane. So stop looking at the lanes beside you and see how far the people who are doing what you do have gotten, and it becomes a hindrance for you in your process. So those who know me know that I love teenagers. My passion and my business is teenagers and women. That's where I can go, and that's where I speak. That's where I'm used most. I can talk to men. I've done substance abuse counseling and Rubicons and all of those things. But women and teens is where my heart and my passion lies. And so I'm telling you this because I'm gonna try to bring this around for you. So this year I have not really talked as much about the stuff I've kind of endured. Yet I've talked about some surface stuff. But I'm going to give you a little bit of background just hopefully it'll help. And so, hey Miyoshi, you good, sis? Hopefully this helps. And so in March, I went to the doctor, felt some type of way. I get to the doctor and they keep me. I end up being in the hospital for 2 weeks. After I come home for those 2 weeks, in that process though, every major organ that I had was kind of shutting down. So I went in because there was fluid in my lungs. My heart had enlarged, caused my arteries to back the fluid up into my lungs. My kidneys shut down. Those 3 things happened in that week's process. During that week's process, when I finally did come home, they kept me out of work. So I was out of work from March until July 1st of this year. So I was out of work. The kids didn't stop eating. The bills didn't stop getting paid. Nothing stopped happening. FYI. So that was my process. In that process, I was able to speak at my son's school on about 3 occasions. I didn't charge because I didn't care. My heart beats to help the teenagers. And I spoke on a consistent basis. And I talked to them about leadership, which is what my heart beats to do. I hope this helps somebody. Like, I was put out of work. You hear me? My kids did not miss a meal. A bill did not go unpaid. And the things that I needed to maneuver and manage as far as financially, it happened. But I was able to do the things that my heart beat to do. But I had to first be set down from that thing that was draining me. In that process, I was also offered an opportunity. So those who have no idea of where I've been for the past week, I was in Mexico. I went to Miami. And then from Miami, I went to Key West. And then from Key West, I went to Mexico. Free of charge. Because someone saw a gifting and a working in me, right? They saw my gift and said, I need you here. I need you to be here. I see what you're doing. I see you over there. I've seen you and I need you here on this. And I moved. Of course, I went. Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, I went. And so I wrote and I worked. And so I wrote out all of this stuff I wanted to talk to the women about. It was the Sisters Cruise. I want to thank Shauna, Makita, and Jackie for trusting me to speak life into the women that I came into contact with. This is about preparation, because in my mind, I was prepared for this cruise. I wrote out what I wanted to talk about. We're going to talk about women empowerment. That's what I do. I love women. That's my thing. And I got to the cruise, got all the way there. And when it was time for me to speak, I said nothing that was on the paper. Nothing. Not one. Not one. As a matter of fact, those who are on here who was there did not even open the book. And they can contest. Did not open the book, put the phone down, had notes, and I spoke. Literally from my heart. And a lot of times I think our thought processes are, because we've seen people prepare, or me personally, I've seen people prepare for speaking engagements. And I'm like, oh, I need to do all of this research. But I never use it. The one time I did use it, I felt so uncomfortable that I kind of ended and walked off the stage, because I tried to go by the book and by what everybody else did. When I have to realize that my gifting and the things that I do and that I do well, nobody else can do. In my lane, in my zone, in my process, nobody else can do what I do. Not that I'm super conceited, none of that, but I'm sure after being in this process, I'm so sure that what I do is God ordained. It has nothing to do with you. You are going to reap the benefits of the hurt and the pains and the things that I've endured, because he said that's where my healing lies. So nothing that I do is because of anybody else, but because of a grace and an humbleness that I have for God. And so in all things, I have to remain true to who he is and who I am. So I talk like this. The same way I'm talking to you now. I talk like this at church. I talk like this at work. I laugh. I joke. I may curse, which I don't do at church. But other than that, I remain the same. But I had to understand that I was brought to that place because he trusts me with those lives that he gave to me. Even as I was going in this process, had I dropped the ball, right? Because before I left on the trip, of course, the main stuff was free. So my trip was, the cabin was paid for, and my transportation there was paid for. But of course, nobody want to go out of town without spending money. However, my reality was, and my life was, that I'm still not at work full time. Right? And so, but know that when it's ordained and in order, there's something that's going to happen. That there's a shift that happens, that manifests, that makes things be as though they already were. And so where I was like struggling and scrambling about not having enough and not being enough and not having whatever, provision was made. Where there is vision, provision is already there. So if you have a dream, a thought process, if you drop the ball on it, understand that provision is made for you to get to where you're going. You just got to pick it back up and run with it. I'm sharing my story not because I want to awe and I'm so sad and not that I need a donation and a GoFundMe, but I need you to understand that I became focused on my lane and in my vision, and I moved in it, and manifestation happened. Change shifted, lives happened. I was moved in a way that I had never been moved before because I trusted a process that I knew I had to endure. I'm just telling you that if you have a vision, if you've seen it happen, if you've seen it and it's yours, don't give up on it. Don't let anything steer you away from it. If it's your vision, if it's your dream, if it's your passion, if it's your desire, you deserve it. Do the work for it, baby, and it's yours. Not because you're oh so wonderful and oh so perfect, but because you have an understanding that the vision didn't come from you. Remember that this was your vision. Don't let anybody get in your ear. Don't let anybody get in your mind, because you have the vision. What they see about you is never going to be enough, because everybody holds you accountable to who they used to know. Stop allowing people to hold you accountable to the person you used to be, and be who it is that you're chosen to be. So at some point in time, when people come to you and say, girl, you used to be, wasn't that you that was over there sleeping with Tom, Dick, and the lady husband? And if that's not who you are, stop owning it. Stop being it. Because just like everything else is thrown into the sea of forgetfulness, so can that life and that part of you. So can that thing be. If you remember and keep your eyes on where your vision is and where your hope for is and where your desires lie. None of it has anything to do with what somebody else says. And a lot of times we get so stuck, the fan is blowing and blowing all of this wonderful, luscious hair, Lord, in my mouth. But everything that is set up for you in vision, there's a provision made for you to get there. The hard part for us, what happens is when we pray for a thing or we have a hope for greatness, we forget that the adversary also hears what we've asked for. So if there's a greatness coming, know that an adversity comes with it. A distraction is going to come. Something to take your mind and your thought process off of where you're supposed to be is going to show up. And it may show up in your friends who don't believe that you should be there. It may show up in the man that's laying beside you or the woman who lays beside you. It may show up in work. It may show up in your children. Because as soon as something happens to your kids, and I'm talking from a mom or somebody close to you, as soon as something happens in their life, there's a shift that happens and it moves you out of order. It moves you out of place. When ultimately there was a vision ahead. So it's up to you to decide where you're going to go with this. So do I become distracted and can't focus? Or do I now have to sit down and plan? Right? So now I got to refocus, and it's funny because one of the songs, Risque, I don't know if y'all know who that is, but it's a dance. Anyway, find them, Richmond City. They do sensual dancing. But the song that they did sensual dancing to and they taught us on the cruise was Focus on Me. Was Focus by her. Y'all know the song. Focus on me. Definitely a sensual dance. We had a great time. But if you just take those 3 words, and although it's the song is talking to a person, sometimes we just need to readjust our focus. And if we spend a little more time on focusing on us, and engulfing in us and rubbing on us and spending a little time and nurturing this, then I can be great everywhere else. I can be a great mom. I could be a great wife. I could be a great whatever else, dad, whoever on here. I could be a great brother, sister, cousin, whatever. If I spent a little time focusing on me. But we get so distracted because everything else around us looks like it's set up for us to help, but it becomes a hindrance. So when help becomes a hindrance in your vision, then you're no longer helping, you're distracted and out of order. Vision, there's a provision for your vision if you become focused. I hope that I'm helping because I'm helping myself, because now I have to be consistent in what I put out there because I've said it again. The reality is if I drop the ball, guess what I can go do? Pick it back up and redo it again because the vision is mine. Nobody has any idea of where I see Combo with Nikki going but me because I wrote it out. The vision was given to me. Now what my job is to do is execute a plan that gets me to the vision. If I drop the ball because of inconsistency, if I drop the ball because of life happened, if I drop the ball because of distractions, then it's up to me to go back and get the ball, do the work, and get myself to a place of where I know I'm supposed to be because this was the vision that was given to me, not to everybody else. Am I telling you that life is not going to happen? What I'm saying to you is that life is going to happen. Distractions are going to come. But if you have a vision, if you have a purpose, you have to understand of where you're supposed to be, baby, get it done. When the walls show up, when the hard things show up, when the life show up, understand that you're pushed through, not go around, right? There's a difference. I don't want you to go around the obstacle. I don't want you to go around the problem. I want you to push through it to get to where you're trying to go because, see, it makes your greatness even stronger. The bigger the adversity, the bigger the greatness that comes after it. The bigger the adversity, the bigger the greatness that comes after it. No one woke up in the morning and said, oh, that girl over there is great because she endured nothing. They said, look at her. She overcame these obstacles to get to this place. Everybody I think is the Steve Harvey story because he slept in his car and was homeless and something. Lord knows my prayer is, God, don't take me to that place. But I have an understanding that I know that I need to endure a thing to get to a place so that when I talk about the greatness and the things that I've overcome and done and been through, that it makes impact on the lives of those that were chosen for me to be a part of. Because nobody wants to hear from somebody who's never endured something. Nobody wants to listen to somebody who hasn't gone through a problem. You can empathize, but people need you to sympathize. People want to know that you understand where they are. That when I'm going through a thing, when I'm going through this moment, that you're saying to me, I get that you're here. And you can be here, you just can't stay. You can be in crying. You can be in grief. You can be in you can be in devastation. You can be in those things, but you cannot stay there. But they're not going to hear that from somebody who's never been there. They're not going to receive that from someone who's never endured that. So I understand that in my life, I have to endure these things so that I can talk to somebody else to say, I get that I was there. No, mine didn't look just like yours, but I understand. And in my understanding and in me getting what and in me having an understanding, now let me show you how I got through this. Not how I went around it and avoided it, but how I went through it to get to where I am now. So yes, God is about to bless me. Yes, I'm about to be put in the forefront. Yes, I'm about to endure some stuff. Yes, but guess what I'm about to also do? Is I'm about to come through some stuff. Because there's some women and some teenagers waiting to hear that there's more for them than what they assume life is. That there's a greater for them than what they assume life is. Hey, Tiffany, that there's going to be a moment in time where they can be anything that they want to be, no matter what they're faced with. No matter what they see, that's not their end all. A teenager need to hear that. But I first have to go through. And I'm understanding of that. I ain't going to tell you I like it. I'm saying that that's where my life is, because my calling is to share my scars so others can heal. And in them healing, I also heal. Not that I'm going to never go through. What it's saying is that you are. You will endure. But baby girl, I got you. And whatever you need from me, I got it. So the hashtag that y'all see on my things tonight are, you good, sis. And it came from the Sisters Cruise. And I'm kind of going to take it on. I know Miyoshi, if she on here, she came up with it, but I'm going to actually roll with it probably as hard as I can. Really, because that's usually what I say to my sisters or women that I come into contact with. And a lot of times we miss opportunity to help somebody because we so wrapped up in our stuff and we've missed right where we're really supposed to be. So my thing is, you good, sis? And if you're not, I didn't tell you I can fix it, but I'm willing to listen. And if I have something that I can offer for you to get what you need, I'm going to offer it. That's it. And then if I'm going somewhere and I know how to get to somewhere, I'm going to say, come on, sis. Follow me. I got you. See, I'm responsible for the effort. The people attached to me are responsible for the results. I just told my friend this the other day. She was asked to help somebody with some businesses. And she was like, that's just a lot to be doing. No, I'm responsible for their effort. So I'm going to show you how. My effort is that I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to help you. Now, your results are your own. If you decide that, hey, you don't want to do it, then that's on you. But if I know how to get up to the top of the mountain and I say, sis, come on, I'm about to go to the top. It's up to you to follow me. Now, I can't drag you with me. I can't put you on my back and carry you. I tried that. It weighs me down and I don't get nowhere. But if I got the tool and the skill of an understanding of how to get to a place, then I'm charged to show you. Now, your results are your own. Because my vision is greater. Helping is a part of my vision. But when helping becomes a hindrance, it moves me from out of position. Helping is a part of my vision. But when helping becomes a hindrance, it is now a distraction to my vision. It's a hindrance to my vision. Because helping can become hindrance if you allow it. So I hope this helps. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you have a hope for, if you have anything that's going on in your life that you just want to be, and you can see it, but life has happened. It's become a distraction. Everything around you is happening. The bill's not paid. The light's about to be cut off. You don't know where your baby gonna be at tomorrow. You don't know who gonna pick that kid up off of the school bus in the morning. I don't know, whatever the distraction is. Push through the distraction, pick up the ball in the vision, and keep walking. Because this is our time. I'm including me. I'm not going to speak greatness over you and forget about me. But I'm also not going to speak just greatness over me and forget that you also are in an attempt to be great. So you good, sis? You good, bro? Come on, sis. Come on, bro. We got somewhere to go. Pick up your dream and pick up your vision and walk. Pick up your dream and pick up your vision. And pay attention in your lane. Stop looking in the lane beside you. Their car may go a little faster. Their destination is different. It is not the same as yours. And don't be distracted by where they're going because their exit is not the same as yours. And if that exit come up faster for their greatness to show up, don't be jealous. Celebrate them. Congratulate them. Keep trucking along in your lane. And when it gets to your exit, don't miss an opportunity to get off. It's your season. It's your time. Pick up your dream. Pick up your vision. And as you're honking and as you're chugging along, look to your left and be like, you good, sis? And they'll respond, I'm good, sis. And if they don't mind stopping to help. But if it's hindered you and you gotten stuck there, then you have to be able to allow them to move so that you can continue to go. It's a crazy process. It's a lot of work. It's not going to be easy. But I double dog dare you to do it. And as you do it, and as it gets done, write on my page. Not that I did it, but the work that you did. Write on my page. Anytime. I had a Convo with Nikki page. I had a Nicole Fields page. I even got a No More Excuses page. Testimonials help other people. So maybe you're not a talker because y'all know I'm a talker. Maybe you're not a talker, but you want to share. Write it. Do a live video on my page if you want. Because my goal is not for just me to win. Come on, sis, I want you to win. Come on, bro, I need you to... Let's grow. Let's go. It may sound different. And it may not... For some of y'all, it may be scary because people are not that genuine. But there are people in this world who want you to succeed and don't know your last name. There are people in this world who want you to grow and have no idea of who you are. And if you didn't know one before, you know one now. Good night. Thank y'all for tuning in.